Yeah, let me tell you something. That glow up be something serious, ladies. When you start doing that self-care, you start feeling great, you know. I mean, I'm the type of person, I like the subtle flex. I'm not the big time flexer. Listen, I'll pass up on that AMG and get me a Ford hybrid if it'll save me some money on some gas. You feel me? Listen, I don't need to have all of these logos on my body looking like a straight clown. I'll pass. But I think sometimes men want me to look a certain way. And I like the way that I look. You know, I think I'm a very gorgeous woman. You know, I got my little classy little bun or whatever, my little bangs, my little earrings or whatever, my little necklace. I try to keep it simple. I don't really like to dress with a lot of tight stuff, you know, and I like to wear my underwear because I know a lot of chicks that don't wear no underwear. I don't even know how she go commando like that. I've been trying to steer my channel into a direction to where it's more like acceptable for women. Because for a long time, I didn't have a lot of women on my channel. And we as women, we go through a lot of stuff that men don't necessarily understand. So I like that men are listening to me, but at the same time, some of my content is just not for you, you know. I think this video might be that. Let me read something I saw. It says, I was a victim of sexual assault in grade school and never said anything. It's crazy because he truly tried to ruin my reputation in school and had people thinking that I was loose or a whore. I hated high school and the people there were suffering in silence. I never deserved that, but I kept it to myself because I was told that if I didn't do what I was asked to do, he would spread rumors about me. I just felt the need to have to say this because it has been on my mind heavy, and sometimes you might be helping someone else who is also fighting their inner demons. I know this may be a shock, but I just felt the need to speak out on it simply because so many victims are suffering from depression. I have learned that my past does not determine who I am today. Ladies and gentlemen, please learn how to love yourselves. Don't be a victim of your past. Self-love is the best love. I know the entire time I've been on YouTube, a lot of people like to chastise me about my past, right? And to me, I'm so comfortable with who I am in my past. When people jump to the conclusions of what kind of woman I am, it doesn't shock me because people have been doing it for a long time. Just recently, a guy hit me up on Facebook and was like, yo, I'm just surprised you on OnlyFans because OnlyFans is beneath you. And I was like, excuse me? He was like, yeah, it's beneath you. It's something you shouldn't be doing. I was like, so it's beneath me to make some money? He was like, no. I said, so it's beneath me to be on a site where a whole bunch of millionaires at? He was like, no. I was like, so I don't understand, like, why, like, what, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, because you think I'm doing porn. What an interesting assumption. I don't understand why people gotta be so judgmental of what other people are doing, okay? Whatever someone has decided to do to generate some income, and if it's paying their bills, that is on them. You understand? They have to deal with the consequences of that. But never, not in a million years, would something like OnlyFans be beneath me, because only I get to determine what's beneath me and what's not. Only I get to determine what my worth is, okay? So on OnlyFans, you got people who not doing porn. You got comedians on there, cosplay characters, a whole bunch of artists and musicians are doing concerts on there. It's tattoo artists on there. It's nurses on there. It's chefs on there. It's people on there who have a following. That's why they can have an OnlyFans. OnlyFans isn't just for people who want to look at pornography. There are things that I post on OnlyFans and give to people that are on my OnlyFans that nobody else gets. And sometimes it might be a nude. Yes, I do the news. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Them news be making me some bread though, okay? Sorry though. But that's not my only source of income, and most people know that. Most people know I got about 7 sources of income. And then I got a lot of people who help me out financially to help me raise my son. You know, I'm always gonna need more money, more money. So whatever it is that I'm doing to make a living, or anybody else is doing to make a living, you can't always side-eye people because of what they're doing. As long as they're making a living, doing something honest, doing something that doesn't require them manipulating somebody or scamming somebody or selling dope or drugs to people, selling people some things that's, you know, not necessarily good for them. You know, I'm just an entertainer. You know, I'm here to do some entertainment. And then I got other services that I put a price tag on, but it's not pornography. I'll never do porn. Don't worry about it. Like, pornography is just not something I'm interested in. I know other people that do it, but it's just something I'm not interested in. You understand? It's a lot of beautiful women on OnlyFans, y'all, sleeping. You just gotta be selective. You gotta know who you can, you know, subscribe to, you know? But what made me read this girl's post was that her reputation was ruined by somebody that had assaulted her. My reputation was ruined by somebody that I rejected. And the more I spoke up about myself, the more rumors that they spread about me, the more negativity that was spread about me, the more lies that was spread about me. And that has been happening my whole life. That is nothing new. That's been happening since, I don't know, I hit middle school. Because see, elementary school, it wasn't like that, you know, but middle school, it definitely turned into that. And then high school, of course, everybody was spreading rumors because I wasn't very clear about what I was doing with other people. I was just doing what I do. I wasn't the type of person that was going around telling everybody my business, you know? So nobody really knew what I was doing. I was doing what I wanted to do for me, you know? And there were times where I'd reject a guy, or, you know, there would be times where there would be girls that didn't like me, you know, and they would make up stuff. And then I had, you know, one of my relatives who didn't like me. So she was walking around spreading stuff about me. She was judgmental, you know, and everybody was just so judgmental of what everybody was doing. I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one that was being like spoken about. But to be in a position to where you can't say something about somebody because they are threatening to harm your reputation, that has to be one of the most hurtful places to be in. And I can only imagine what that feels like. And this is why I want people to understand something. You gotta love yourself. Your reputation is what other people think of you. It's not truly who you are. You know who you are. You know what you haven't done. You know what you have done. And the people who genuinely love you are not gonna be sitting here listening to what your reputation is. They are going to be paying attention to how you treat them. And anytime I'm approached by a guy, like a lot of times guys will come to me and they'll talk about what they heard on the internet, and I'll be looking at them a little sideways like, are you really that immature? You talking to me about something you heard on the internet? Like, are we adults here? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't stop with that schoolgirl crap, you're supposed to be a man. As a man, do not come to me gossiping to me about something another man said or what you heard from somebody. It's so weird. It's like men do that. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't want to deal with any dude that's gossiping with some other man, because that means he run his mouth about his own business. And personally, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already tell enough of my stories. My little 20% I tell on YouTube, it needs to stop there. I tell people, you know, stuff that happened to me just to help another person out. But outside of that, man, I'm good. Like, I don't want my man out here just telling everybody our stuff. I noticed that, like, men I used to date, they talk about me all the time, and they, like, embellish our situation, and they sensationalize our situation. And I had to get to a point where I didn't care about that. I didn't worry about what they was telling everybody or what they was saying. And I couldn't always have a response to what somebody else said. You know, because everybody is always going to be talking about you regardless to what you're doing. It doesn't matter. Your reputation is basically what a whole bunch of other people are talking about. It has nothing to do with genuinely who you are as a person, because the people that genuinely know you as a person and was a good person and are still in your life, they're not going to be talking about you on no platform or gossiping to nobody, and nobody's going to feel comfortable with gossiping to them about you. So at the end of the day, those people don't matter. And sometimes, you know, what people say could get to you. Like the reason why I decided to get offline for a couple of months, you know, I felt that. I felt I needed to do some self-care seriously, because the stuff that people were saying, they was going so far to say I had committed suicide. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to take a break with this. I can't deal with this. That is self-care right there. When you love yourself, you know that there's something that you can't deal with, so you need to back up and take a beat. Do it. That's what you need to do for yourself. As a woman, as a man, it doesn't matter. Worrying about what people think and say and what your reputation is will have you sitting here stressed, because you're never going to be able to control what other people think or what they say about you. That's why I can't stand when people be like, keep my name out your mouth. You know, ever heard somebody say that to somebody else? It's just like, okay, let's say your name comes out of their mouth again. All right, let's say if this happens again, what you gonna do? You gonna keep fighting them every time? Who Who wants to keep getting into a fight over and over and over again? Don't nobody got time to be getting arrested. Don't nobody got time for that. I don't have time to be sitting here getting arrested. I don't want no damn criminal record. Listen, you want a criminal record, you go out there, you knock it out. You know what I'm saying? You want to have trouble with the law and the justice system, do you? But I got so much other stuff to worry about. I ain't got time to be sitting here arguing back and forth with complete strangers about what they think. Who cares? What they think is their business. Let them think what they want to think, because usually they wrong. They don't have all of the information, you know? I know how helpless it feels when you're dealing with somebody who is spreading rumors about you, and it's really nothing that you could do about it. You just got to trust and believe that the people that do matter, the people that are in your life, the people that do have something positive to say about you, they have invested their time and energy into you, and those are the people that you love, and they love you, and that's all you need to focus on, man. Love yourself enough to not worry about what your reputation is, because 9 times out of 10 it's kind of liquidy. Like, people changing their mind left and right about people. One minute they like people, next minute they don't like people. It just depends upon what condition. What are you doing or not doing? And people change their minds so much, trust me. Just hear me out. Don't even worry about it, okay? Just love yourself. Do whatever you need to do, all right? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste. Excuse me as I kiss the sky. So you online looking for someone who understands your unique life experiences? Well, thank God you've made it here. Subscribe, because I got you. I found ways to navigate through this life, and with my advice you can get a grip on it all, okay? I'll give you tips about your health, relationships, business, finances, and parenting. Make sure you like, share, and comment, but keep it clean when you're trying to express your opinion. Now, buy my merch or get free merch by signing up for membership, okay? So it's been a long time. I'm trying to make sure that I post weekly. It's kind of difficult sometimes because I am a mom. If you are a mom, then girl, you already know what I'm dealing with over here. But it's a lot of ladies out there that don't have any kids. Girl, let me tell you, prepare yourself, all right? If you want some kids, maybe you want to get married first, still prepare yourself to be a single mom, because you could end up in a relationship. Divorce happens, breakups happen. Hell, it's wives I know out there who feel like they're single moms while they're in their marriage. So just understand that when you do decide to have kids, them kids are yours. You heard me? And thank God if you find a man who knows what he wants, who is also capable of being a good father, because a father is actually something that he wants to do with his life. Ladies, please choose better. Please choose better. When you look at my channel and you hear all of the experiences that I have been through, just understand that is me trying to make sure that you do not make the same mistakes I did in my 20s and my 30s. Hope my stories help you out, okay? If you are a single mom and you're looking for some type of support, you can go onto Facebook. I have a Black single mom support group there. Make sure you check it out. If you want to live a healthier, happier lifestyle, well, let me introduce you to Teamy Blend Wellness Products, inspired by the health benefits of tea. All of the ingredients are 100% natural, pesticides, and cruelty-free. Using these products have worked wonders for me. I feel energized. My skin feels great. You can go to teamyblends.com/discount/Soncerae20 to get 20% off on purchases over $40. Make sure you enter Soncerae20 at checkout, okay? I don't really post on Facebook like that unless I'm in one of my groups. But I posted recently and I was talking about how in the world I couldn't understand something I couldn't understand, which is, how are males who don't take care of their kids still fuckable to women? To me, there isn't a Miss Lady on this planet he deserves, not even the filthiest STI infested one. That scum's name needs to be scraped off the ladies' room wall permanently, because he doesn't respect our womb. Now, you would be surprised at the answers that women put underneath this. So of course, if you've been following me all over social media, you know my social media managers will post like my tweets all over the place. I don't really have a lot of Twitter followers, but when I posted that, it's posted all over the place. So I get a lot of feedback, and the stuff that women were saying, some of the stuff that these women were saying, I was like, ooh. I saw this one post. It said, one day you'll meet a man that will thank the universe that the men before him made the mistake of letting you go. The problem is you want that man to come right now. You assume you're mentally ready. You swear that you know what you want, but the reality is that you have been in such a rush to get to the finish line of love that you missed the lessons that could have saved you time and energy. Everyone picks wrong because they pick right. It's in those missteps that we gain the wisdom that will lead to better results. When you ignore the lessons and rush into relationship after relationship because you hate the feeling of being alone, you will find yourself repeating the same mistakes with the same type of man. Oh my God, can I get a high five? Oh, can I get some snaps? I was like, that is a gem right there. Okay, here's my big issue, and I know that you guys gonna be like, you got an issue with everything, but listen to this. What I don't understand is how, after I'm saying that I can't understand how men who don't take care of their kids are still fuckable to women, and then it's women in the comment section defending these women for making these choices by saying stuff like, well, men lie. They lie to us. I had a whole bunch of women just start giving me these stories about how their baby daddies turned around and lied to all of these women and made them out to be, the devil incarnate. Now, we know men do that all the time, but that's not what I meant when I posted this. Obviously, I meant the women that actually know these men don't take care of their children. Okay, so I felt like these women were giving other women excuses. Like this one girl said, I doubt his opening line is, hey, I'm Frank and I'm a deadbeat father. These men usually in their heads believe they are justified in not stepping up. They're doing all they can and it's not their fault, so they don't tell other women anything. So I said to her, while she was being a little slick little pick-me, I don't like little pick-me's. I don't like the little pick-me's. It's not their fault. They feel like they're doing the best that they can. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Okay, whatever. Listen, y'all gotta stop giving these men excuses. Come on, yeah, it really is their fault. It really is their fault. Now, I am the person that preaches that sometimes you're asking for like 10 tons from pint people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes all they have to offer is like the $60 a week child support check that is garnished from my son's father's pay. That's all he can give. You know what I'm saying? That might just be all he has to offer. Some people are like that. So of course I feel you, but in this specific situation, it just feels like she was just trying so hard. I was like, women are having sex with the obvious deadbeats. The ones with the 3 and 4 baby mamas, proving he's spreading his semen across the 4 winds, okay? Trust me, he isn't taking care of all of those kids equally. And women are comfortable with being baby mama number 5, and we've seen it plenty of times. Now, I know men lie, just like all you ladies know that women still have sex with these deadbeat fathers, hoping he'll treat their baby better than he treats the other children. You guys know this. You know this. Another girl came in with this point. She said, it wouldn't be so many deadbeats if women didn't have sex. Wait until marriage, explore the person in all the other ways not sexual, and see how we rise. And I told her this, like I tell every single woman, marriage does not save you. I know plenty of women who are married and still feel like single mothers, okay? There are also women who are divorced and their ex-husbands have moved on to other families and don't bother with their kids, okay? Now, the same woman, she also said something to me. She said, it's so complex. If we explored more partnerships, if we got to know the men truly, the success rate of marriage would be different. We don't spend enough time getting to know people, in my experience, nor do we know to communicate truthfully. And she was just speaking from her experiences. Now, my thing is, I'm the type of person where I usually am a guy's friend first. It usually takes me a second before I decide, well, I want to invest my energy into someone. And to me, a solid relationship is about making a conscious choice. When both of you are choosing to make sure that this relationship is successful, then the relationship will be. Sometimes you can't tell whether a person is going to up and change their mind about wanting to commit to the success of a relationship or a marriage. A lot of times that's not something you can control. Whether you sit there and date a person 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I've had women wait to be proposed to, and then after they get proposed to, they turn around and they get married, and the marriage is still as bad as it was, when they were sitting there begging to be married. Or these men get these women pregnant and then they turn around and abandon their children. It is what it is. Marriage is just not going to save you from someone who's just like a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But if women would get in unison, okay, if we would get information, if we would require more from men than what we do, we would have more success with men. Men get away with entirely too much. And if you are a man and you're listening to this, this is not an attack at you, okay? I know how sensitive y'all are. I know how y'all feel when y'all egos getting a little tad bit bruised or whatever. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or whatever. Listen, on YouTube alone, there's plenty of men out here that's trashing women and single mothers. So, matter of fact, I seen a video the other day about this guy who was basically telling his audience that they should not feel sympathy for single mothers. I unsubscribed from his channel so fast. I was like, oh my God, when did this dude turn into a Dusty? Like, cause that's like Dusty mentality. Like, you gotta be leery of any person that feels comfortable with telling another person who they shouldn't have sympathy for. Like, come on, sympathy is sympathy. Sympathy is one of those things. It's just like gratitude. You know what I'm saying? It's just like something that happens in life. Sometimes, having compassion and sympathy for other people is a positive thing. It doesn't mean that you have to attach some type of egregious action to it that might, disgust you or might make you lose your dignity. But having sympathy for somebody that may be in an unfortunate situation, or that may be causing them pain, that's fair. That's like a human trait. If you are online or even just having a general conversation with someone and you're encouraging them to not have sympathy for someone who may be hurting, I can't. That's just, I don't know. So anyway, I unsubscribed from his channel, unfortunately. Like, I was kind of, trying to see if I could dig some of these guys that, get on social media and they are giving advice to other men. Like, it's easy for me as a woman to get on social media and see other people giving advice, like other men giving advice to women. But usually when I see men giving other men advice, it's usually the worst advice ever. It's like men are teaching men to be worse instead of better, or teaching them to be selfish, or teaching them to be like misogynistic or cruel to women. And that's so unfortunate to me, because how is that creating better unions and better families when they're dealing with women in general? We're not talking about race here. We're just talking about how men are dealing with women in general of all colors. Like, if you're teaching them to have this callous, cruel way of thinking as far as women goes, there is not going to be any type of unification, and these relationships are going to continuously be difficult to be in. Don't nobody got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't nobody got time for that. But anyway, so as women, listen, somebody got to date the Dusties. So when I do hear women out here being pick-me's, like, oh, it's not their fault that they're not taking care of their kids. Maybe they just don't know any better. Come on, we're talking about a grown-ass man here. We're not talking about a puppy or a toddler. We're talking about a grown man here, especially if he's over 30. Y'all got to stop giving these men over 30 the benefit of the doubt, man, because listen, when they was a teenager and in their early 20s, they might have been trying to, experience stuff. Maybe they was out here learning lessons. Maybe they was just trying to see what was going on. But after a certain age, If you haven't started accumulating those lessons and applying that stuff to your life, something is really deeply wrong with you, and you should be in the process of dating to begin with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. If you are feeling comfortable as a woman with dating a man, even though he has these broken relationships with more than one woman that he has children with, and you think you about to get with him and the situation about to be any different, you got another thing coming. You have to watch the pattern. You have to watch the pattern these men have with women. It's the same thing with women. Men, you gotta watch the pattern with women. Like, if women are consistently having a communication problem over and over and over again with more than one guy, you gotta start thinking like, okay, who is the common denominator in this? Who is the common denominator? So, ladies, like I said in the post, these are the men that we really need to start like putting on this not to do list. There is nothing attractive about a man who is not taking care of his children. No man who has walked the earth, had some type of intimacy with a woman, and enjoyed the benefits of having intimacy with this woman, if he can't handle the responsibility of sharing intimacy with that woman, the consequences that come out of sharing intimacy with a woman, that means he does not have respect. He doesn't deserve the benefits if he can't deal with the consequences that he may not agree with. I mean, those are two things that go together. If you're going to sit up here and enjoy sharing intimacy with a woman, being that close to her, you also need to enjoy the fact that there might be a seed that comes out of that. You understand what I'm saying? And if men can't do that, these are the men that you need to make sure they understand how socially awkward and ostracized that they are. This will eliminate a lot of men walking away from the responsibility of being a father. If women just came together and decided, no, that's not the type of guy I'm going to have sex with. I don't care if he's attractive. I don't care if he has a big, tool to work with. I don't care if he's financially stable. I don't care if he's employed. The things that we require from men, the standards that women have, are what make men behave the way that they do. Most women, we all have like similar complaints as far as men go. You've seen women sit here and talk about men. Have you looked at a Facebook group or went to like some type of panel where women were talking about relationships in a live stream? Men tend to all kind of behave in a similar manner, and I believe that that's the fault of women because of what we require, what our standards are. And it's a lot of women who have low standards, and I'm not sure what that shit is about, but I'm here to tell you to get a grip, sis. You gotta get a grip, sis, because if you out here only looking out for yourself, you have to understand when that boomerang come back and hit you back in the face, you had a baby by this dude and was just wishing and praying that he take care of your kids, even though he ain't take care of his others, you will end up being just like those women. And I'm not talking to women who were lied to, or who were dealing with men who tried to make their baby mama out to be the devil incarnate, when really all they baby mama wanted was for them to take care of their kids, and they never really, tried to put forth any effort. I'm not talking about those type of women. I'm not talking about women that had no idea. I'm talking about the women that know very damn well that these men are deadbeat, but you're still dating them. You're still having them take you out places. You're still having, sharing intimacy with them. Why are you even having a conversation with dude? To me, that still says a lot about your self-esteem as a woman. You gotta be more interested in high-valued men, okay? High-valued men do not walk around here not taking care of their children. High-valued men take care of their children and make sure that their children have everything that they need, whether they marry the mothers or not. Do you understand that? High valued men want to be fathers, and if they don't want to be fathers, they have enough sense to either get a vasectomy or put on some protection. No high valued man is going to be walking around here with this collection of baby mamas. Okay? Don't be so anxious to join the club. No high valued man is going to do any of that. So if you want you a good man, you complaining about how you can't never find one, why are your standard low? Why are you dealing with a dusty? Only a dusty would encourage a man to not take care of his kids, or be the type of man that isn't taking care of his kids. High value men just don't do that. So ladies, next time you going through the dating process with a guy, you find out this man has children, you need to ask him what's really going on with the mothers of his children, with his children. Usually when you dealing with a good dude, him and his baby mama genuinely have like a cool situation anyway. Most good guys, him and their baby mama, if he picked a decent mother of his children, because he might have made a mistake too and picked a bird brain, but most grown women, like most high value women, attract high value men, and most high value men attract high value women. And even if their relationship didn't work out for various reasons, it doesn't mean that either one of them is any less valuable. It just means that they weren't suitable for each other. They may have been married at one point, they may have kids together, but usually if you dealing with two high value people, they are cordial with each other anyway. They really got a decent co-parenting relationship. High value people take pride in good co-parenting relationships. Me and my daughter's father have an amazing co-parenting relationship, and you guys have heard me talk about that before. If you haven't, I got plenty of videos where I discuss, my relationship with my daughter's father. Now, me and my son's father, we don't have a relationship at all. Like, he's never met our son. And I think I kind of like it that way, because I don't think he is competent enough to take care of a child. I don't think he has enough sympathy and compassion to be able to take care of a child. I wouldn't even be able to, trust him with a child. And the only reason why I figured that out was how he treated me during my pregnancy. And you can learn a lot about a man by how he treats you during your pregnancy. I'm telling you, like, in my single moms group on Facebook, it's pregnant women in there, and the stories that I hear, the stuff that they say about how careless and rude and cruel these men are while these women are in such a fragile state, says a lot about what kind of father that they are going to be. So when I saw that my son's father was treating me so bad during pregnancy, I already knew he would be a terrible father. And it's one thing for you to be dating a guy and be how I was, where we would sit down and we would talk about having kids together all the time. And he was talking about how he wanted to be a father and how he would be a great husband. And we were having all of these positive conversations about building a family together. And then when the time came for us to build it, how nasty and cruel he became. When you see a man switch when things get real like that, oh my God. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. You're like, oh my God, this is the person that I'm pregnant by. The only thing you can do after that is prepare yourself to be able to take care of a child alone. And here's my thing: taking care of a child alone is difficult. It can be hard sometimes. You're not struggling all the time. A lot of people want you to believe that, being a single mom is like this terrible struggle, but it's a lot of women choosing to be single moms. But my thing is, prepare yourself to be a single mother. Even if you are in a marriage, even if you are in a relationship, prepare yourself from the beginning. Okay? Always factor in whether you're ready to be a mother by yourself first. Because if you are not ready to carry a child alone, you don't need to have a child at all, because anything could happen to that man. That man could pass away. He may not just voluntarily walk away because he want to be with another woman, or he just up and decides he wants to be a dusty and not take care of his children. Something could happen to him. So you have to be prepared before all that. Now, I'm not trying to relinquish men of their responsibility, and I'm not sitting here trying to not hold men accountable, you know, when they when I tell you to be prepared. But I do need you to understand, regardless to whether these men are good fathers or not, your children will always rely on you. They will always rely on their mother more than they rely on their father, 9 times out of 10. So it's not that, you know, I'm trying to prepare you to be a single mom, or I'm telling you to prepare yourself. Just understand that your children will rely on you more than they will rely on their fathers. So anyway, I hope this was informative for you. I hope this made you think. Make sure you put whatever you want inside of the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram at therealsoncerae@gmail.com. If you have any questions about motherhood, single motherhood, parenting, finances, business, whatever it is, you can email me, okay, at soncerae@gmail.com. If you are a single mom and you have questions about my single mom group, email us at wegiveyoulife@gmail.com, okay? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste. Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Hey y'all, it's Soncerae here. I appreciate the love and support. So you online looking for someone who understands your unique life experiences? Well, thank God you've made it here. Subscribe, because I got you. I found ways to navigate through this life, and with my advice, you can get a grip on it all, okay? I'll give you tips about your health, relationships, business, finances, and parenting. Make sure you like, share, and comment, but keep it clean. Listen, follow me on Instagram. What I'm talking to you about is something that I saw on Instagram, okay? I was shocked because I follow this guy. His name is, I think it's Dayon. I don't know, it's Dawn, something like that. Anyway, he has this Instagram account. It's called Quote Oneself, and he put up this interesting post, and I couldn't believe he put it up. I was just like so dumbfounded, and everybody in the comment section was so dumbfounded. He put up this post, and it said, "A rebound helps you get over your longtime ex, and they also help you see if you can stick to your boundaries this time." Then the caption, I think the caption is what really got me. He said, "If you find yourself allowing your rebound to overstep your boundaries just like you allowed your ex to, then you're not ready to date just yet." I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, stop, right? This is really got weird for me. I was like, okay, these relationship gurus are a trip. Number one, the fact that he was encouraging people to have a rebound was kind of disgusting to me, and also disgusting to the other people who were coming into the comment section. They was confused. I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't understand this. Like, you encouraging people to have a rebound? Like, that's kind of cruel. If anything, if you're the type of person that's giving relationship advice, you need to be encouraging people not to have a rebound. If you feel like you need to have a rebound, that right there says you're not ready to date. You don't have to have a rebound and then make the mistake of allowing your rebound to overstep your boundaries for you to realize that now is not the time for you to date. If you are even considering a person that you're hanging out with a rebound, it's not time for you to date. Trying to make somebody your rebound is such a cruel thing, because a lot of times rebounds don't know that's what they are. A lot of the time, most of the time, let's talk, maybe 95% of the time, a rebound don't even know that's what they are. Especially when we talking about dealing with men. Most of the time, men, when they're juggling a whole bunch of women, they're feeling some type of way, and every woman that they're dealing with is a rebound from some woman that hurt their feelings some other time ago. Men use their man part for a lot of different reasons, okay? And one of the reasons is because they're trying to get over another woman. They got emotions, they got stresses, they got things that they're dealing with. So they use intimacy as a way to get through it. A lot of them have a communication problem, but they don't mind communication intimately in a, you know, instant gratification type of way. That means they're casual in their behaviors with their rebounds, and they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing with them. They're not ready to be in any type of relationship with anybody. But the fact that her relationship guru was basically like, listen, you're not ready to date. If you're letting your rebound overstep boundaries, oh my God. This is like, I was just talking about another guy. And I'm sorry, but men are giving some crazy advice online. I was just talking about another guy that I was looking at a video of his the other day where he was talking about how men shouldn't have sympathy for single mothers. And I was like, hold on, wait. Like, you should be leery of anybody who's telling you to not have sympathy and compassion for another human being. I mean, he's telling you to get rid of a natural emotion that you're going to need, that's going to be part of, you know, your instinct, your basic instinct to live life. You know, it's going to get you out of a lot of situations when you have compassion and sympathy for other people. It's going to give you a better understanding of yourself. And here comes this guy who's supposedly giving great advice out here telling men to not feel those things for women who may be in a less fortunate situation. Not every single mother is walking around here purposely a single mom. Just like how every rebound is not out here knowing that they're like an actual rebound. Like, come on, man. Like, some situations you get in, you just aren't sure what you're doing. And if you have a rebound, I'm telling you straight up, if you are a rebound, you are in complete bliss right now and have no idea. I'm telling you. And you could be falling in love with somebody who is only using you. It's like inception. It's like creating a vicious cycle of hurt people hurting people. It's just, why would someone encourage another person to have a rebound? That is so cruel to me. And I'm telling you, this relationship stuff, when I see it, I'm like, oh my God. Like, and people would say, we're trying to tell them, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you encouraging this? And of course, I just clicked off the quote, because he says a lot of other positive quotes that are very, you know, like, helpful to me. So I didn't want to just look at this one that seemed weird and be like, okay, I don't want to look at any other quotes that he has. But this one just really had me confused. Like, oh my God, like, they're encouraging people to have rebounds. Like, what is this world coming to? Like, don't even do that. Like, you would not want somebody to hurt you in that manner. The fact that you are in the stage where you're trying to get over someone who has hurt you, why would you want to put someone else in that boat? Like, think about that. Like, you really want to hurt somebody? When we get inside of these relationships, we're all taking a risk here. We're all trying to figure out, is this somebody that I want to build with? Is this someone that I'm casually sleeping with? And a lot of times we be leading people on to believe that they are more than what they are. And that right there is the worst thing that you can do to somebody. For me, if I'm not interested in a guy, I'm gonna let him know that off break. If I'm not interested in being in a relationship, if I'm not trying to move past whatever we at right now, I'm gonna say that. You know, I don't want him to invest all of this time and energy into me without him knowing what's up. That's the hurtful stuff, the lie. I've always said that about cheating. When you are in a relationship with somebody, to me, cheating ain't even the worst part. Sleeping with somebody else, the actual physical act of doing that, is not even the worst part of the betrayal. The betrayal is lying about it. That's the hurtful part. You're going around here lying about it. For what? Like, that's the sneaky part that has people not being able to trust you. How is somebody supposed to trust you when they going to work? Or when you tell them that you're going to the store, how they supposed to believe that that's what's happening with you if you lie? You know, so my thing is, I tell guys all the time, and I said this before. I tell guys all the time before I end up in a relationship with them. I tell them this when I'm friends with them. I'm like, listen, we could be in a polyamorous relationship where we can be cool with each other. We can be in a relationship with one another. And if we want to step out the relationship sometimes and have like other friendships or other situations with other people, that's something that we can tell each other. And that's just the nature of the situation that we have. And everybody just in the situation is just going to be cool about it. Now, you have to find other polyamorous people. You can't just be poly with each other and then go find some people who are big on monogamy and think this is about to be a smooth situation. No, you have to find other people who are also into the poly lifestyle. So I give men the opportunity to do that from the beginning. And most times men are like, oh no, I want to be monogamous. I'm like, are you sure? I did it with my son's father. I was like, you sure you want to be monogamous, boo? Are you sure? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. Then we ended up in a monogamous relationship and he ended up cheating and lying. For what? I just gave you the opportunity to go out here and do whatever it is that you wanted to do, but just tell me the truth. And he was like, well, I want to be able to, entertain other women, but I don't want you to entertain other men. I also don't know if I can tell you the truth about what I'm doing. You see how weird that is? It's like, oh, so you want to feel comfortable with what you're doing, and you want me to feel comfortable with what you're doing. But if I was doing what you was doing, then you can't have that, huh? You can't handle that, and I'm supposed to just accept that misogynistic shit. I'm supposed to just accept that. Boy, if you don't get out my face, you know what I'm saying? If you don't go somewhere with that double standard stuff is not going to work for me. Now, I know a lot of people are like, you got to have low standards in order to be poly. No, it's like a different way of having a relationship. It's one thing that I noticed about a lot of women is that they don't realize how many different kinds of relationships that there are. Most people believe that monogamy is the only type of relationship to have. It is so many different types of relationships in this world. Just like it's so many different like sexualities. I remember where it used to be simple, where it was like, listen, either you're heterosexual or you're homosexual. Not anymore. It's like, oh, I'm bisexual, I'm asexual. Personally, for me, I'm demisexual. To me, being demisexual, and let me just stop saying sexual, because you can't say sexual on YouTube. There's so many different ways to do things that works for so many different people. How are you so sure that monogamy is going to work for you? You aren't sure. That's the thing. If monogamy was this great, successful thing, the divorce rate wouldn't be so high. People wouldn't be breaking up so much. People wouldn't be cheating on each other so much. Think about that. Cheating happens more than anything. Breaking up happens more than anything because people believe there's only one way to have a relationship, and that's the monogamous way. I mean, of course, you got selfish people out there. Like I said, my ex he was selfish. He wanted to go out here and do whatever he wanted to do, but he also wanted to keep me. But he didn't want me to go out there and do what I wanted to do. And I know a lot of people that are like, what's the point in being in a relationship if you can't commit to one another? Polyamory is about you being responsible when you commit to someone, because it's someone that's committing to you in a monogamous relationship who is still being irresponsible if they're cheating and lying to you. And I don't think a lot of people think of it that way. It doesn't even register in your mind that a person is out here disrespecting you entirely. Your entire situation, lying to you, sneaking around, humiliating you. Other people are seeing other people are seeing your partner out with someone else behind your back, and half of them don't even want to tell you. It's happened to me. People tell me months later, oh yeah, I saw your ex at Perimeter Mall with such and such girl, and I didn't want to tell you because I thought you was going to get mad at me. like, you're my friend. Why you ain't tell me? I'm definitely mad at you now. You were supposed to speak up. Nah, I saw them and I was like, she gonna blame me. So I, stuff like that. It's like, God, tell me. So it's humiliating. Just put it like that. It's definitely humiliating. So here's my thing. If you're not ready to be in a relationship, you'll know. You're still thinking about your ex. You might still cry over your ex. You might still be talking about your ex. You might be ready to move on with someone else. Okay, it could be a possibility. You might be ready to move on with someone else. And because you've been single so long, the first person you see might seem like they're a good idea. But no, it's almost like, you know how you really thirsty and you open the refrigerator and it's like nothing in there but Sprite. You really want some water, but you don't drink faucet water and you out of spring water and you like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and drink this Sprite or this juice because I'm hella thirsty. Yeah, it's like that. It's like, I'm just gonna choose whoever because I haven't had something to drink in such a long time. It's the same thing with when you're choosing people. When you've been alone for a long time, that's how people are ending up being like rebounds. People have been single too long. You know, they want to get in a relationship. They're trying to move on fast from an ex. So they get with whoever. And that person ends up being a rebound. Or they end up being a placeholder for, I'm just going to sit this person right here until I actually find somebody else I truly want to be with. Those two positions are like the most hurtful positions that you can put somebody else in. Be careful with that boomerang, man. That boomerang is going to come back. Y'all got to understand how karma works. Karma is a part of the universe. Okay, I know some of y'all don't believe in God. I personally do. I believe in the universe. I believe in metaphysics. And I'm telling you, what you put out into the world is going to come back to you in some type of way. Some type of way. So if you out here with rebounds or you out here with placeholders, don't be surprised if you end up becoming one and it hurts you so bad because you had no idea that's what you were. So if you're not ready to date or you seeing somebody and you have some type of feeling that you might not be ready to take them serious, you got to let these people know that. Like, you owe people that. And when you don't pay people what you owe, the universe will have its way with you. Trust me. It's not going to just leap over you. It does not forget your address. All right. I appreciate you watching. Have vision. I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, you can email me at soncerae@gmail.com. Okay. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.